You're 18, hauling demolished garage debris into a dumpster on someone else's construction site. 2 decades later, you sign a sale agreement for $750,000 and transfer the keys to a company you've built from the ground up. Between those defining moments lies a trade with 959,000 workers and a completion rate below 35%. This represents every stage of carpentry in America and the true cost of ascending its ranks. That's what Rank Breakdown is all about. If you like career breakdowns with real numbers and no fluff, subscribe so you don't miss the next one. Level 1. The Helper. You're 18, earning $20.80 per hour with a total package of $24.26, accounting for boots, taxes, and pre-apprentice expenses. The first 1,000 hours are probationary, meaning they can terminate your employment without explanation or notice. You start at 6 a.m. and finish at 3 p.m., with commutes consuming 30 to 90 minutes each way. Your inaugural day, the lead carpenter directs you to a dumpster. 9 hours pass as you toss demolished garage debris. Subsequent days involve lumber hauling and sweeping. You're not constructing anything yet, merely earning permission to remain on site. The minimum lift requirement is 50 pounds, which you'll hoist 40 times before lunch. You first learn 3 critical words: layout, plumb, square, typically through harsh corrections. Michael, a senior carpenter, demonstrates tool preparation before the crew arrives. He explains the apprentice progression: lumber hauling, tool setup, cleanup. Trust is earned incrementally. You return home with cracked hands and raw knees. Silence follows. At 1,000 hours, the foreman briefly confirms your continued employment, the entirety of your performance review. Level 2, the apprentice. You're 19, signing an indenture with the North Atlantic States Carpenters Training Fund. The program requires 8,000 on-job hours, 144 annual classroom hours, and OSHA 10 certification. That year, 78 candidates applied for the heavy highway carpenters track, with only 28 securing spots. Across all crafts, 1,097 applications resulted in 188 acceptances. Your initial wage remains $20.80 per hour, 40% of a journeyman's pay. Bailey, a classmate, balances a Habitat for Humanity build, night college classes, and a 3:30 a.m. Home Depot unloading shift. She occasionally dozes during classroom instruction, eventually being sent home after repeated incidents. You learn to translate blueprints into tangible structures: wood, concrete forms, framing, subfloor, trim. Tape measure precision is crucial, with foreman double-checking measurements. Union standing, drug testing, and a 1-to-1 apprentice-to-journeyman ratio define your experience. By the 8th period, your wage increases to $41.39 per hour. The instructor emphasizes the Department of Labor's grim apprenticeship completion statistic, below 35%. Most in the room won't complete the program. 2 classmates wash out before the second winter, their names soon forgotten. Level 3, the journeyman. You're 23, completing your indenture as the classroom door closes behind you. Your new commercial wage is $45.99 per hour with a total package of $73.18. At $59,310 annually, you're above the national median, yet simultaneously isolated. Cody, 3 years your senior, guides you through your first hospital build. His meticulous 5:40 a.m. arrival involves comprehensive containment zone inspections. He emphasizes the critical nature of maintaining sealed environments, warning that breaching protocols can trigger lawsuits, OSHA citations, and potential patient health risks. 3 months in, you tackle a hotel renovation wall. Despite measuring twice and cutting once, a dimensional error emerges. The wall sits 1 3/4 inches off square, causing drywallers to abandon the project. The superintendent addresses the issue during lunch. You rebuild the wall independently over a weekend, accompanied by laborers you previously outranked. Sleepless nights follow. The mistake costs the company approximately $4,000 in materials and a full day's schedule. Your foreman's response, a stark presentation of facts followed by silence, proves more intimidating than immediate termination. The next month, you approach another wall. You measure 3 times. You cut once. It's perfectly aligned and at a right angle. Your foreman walks by, taps the stud, and continues on his way. The crane operator stops criticizing your work. The drywallers nod appreciatively when they arrive. You understand the job isn't about speed, it's about preventing problems for the next trades. The construction industry recorded 1,075 fatalities last year, with 421 of those resulting from falls, slips, and trips, 39.2% of every death on every site in America. One Tuesday in October, a worker 2 floors below you steps backward off a scissor lift platform. You hear the sound. You don't witness the incident. The site shuts down for 6 hours. The next day, you work meticulously, ensuring everything is plumb, square, and securely tied off every minute. Level 4. The foreman. You're 27. The promotion arrives in a labor market where 77% of firms can't fill hourly craft positions. 69% are attempting to grow headcount, and 53% raised base pay more than the previous year. Your foreman's premium on the commercial sheet is $3 per hour above journeyman, putting you at $48.99 an hour cash. The national median for a first-line supervisor of construction trades is $76,760 a year. You stop swinging hammers and start managing mornings. You inspect safety, read specifications, assign labor, estimate materials, coordinate with electricians and mechanical crews, resolve issues before the superintendent becomes aware, and record production data on a Procore running phone. You discover an unexpected truth. The most challenging aspect of leadership isn't the work. It's the constant communication, the plumbers, the late delivery truck, an absent apprentice, and the owner demanding a change order rebid by Friday. By 10 a.m., you've addressed 6 matters unrelated to carpentry. Jared, 22 years old, started framing at 14, runs a crew across town, teaches at a trade school campus in the afternoons, and signs his own time card. The market doesn't wait for you to feel prepared. If you can communicate, schedule, and maintain quality, the promotion finds you faster than the traditional career progression suggested. Your first real test is a punch list on a 30-unit residential build with 74 open items across 8 units and 3 trades pointing fingers at each other. You call a stand-up at 7 a.m., inspect every unit, and assign each line to a specific person and date. By Friday, the list reduces to 9. The superintendent calls the GM. The GM calls you. You don't receive a raise. Instead, you get the next job, a 40-unit build, with your name at the top of the call sheet. Level 5, the superintendent. You're 31. The construction manager median salary is $106,980 a year. The top decile earns $176,990. 550,300 people in the country hold this title, with the role projected to grow 9% over the decade. You no longer carry tools. You carry the schedule, budget, and contract. You participate in conceptual development. You oversee scheduling, budgeting, sequencing, owner communication. You spend half your day in Procore. Your laptop is open on 3 monitors in the trailer, displaying submittals, the master schedule, and the daily log, while your phone remains constantly accessible. Anna runs lead carpenter and project management work at a passive house firm in Maine. She advises that at this level, the key is less about perfect execution and more about systematic thinking. The framer who can install a window flawlessly is replaceable. The superintendent who anticipates a window's failure in August due to conflicting flashing details is not. Your edge is no longer about cutting speed, but about early problem identification. On a $30 million institutional project, the steel arrives 2 weeks late. The slab is poured. 3 trades are backed up behind the steel. You resequence, pull the interior framing forward, push the curtain wall back, and rent 2 extra lifts. You save 11 days. You don't receive a bonus. You get the next job. The owner requests you specifically. The project starts and ends with you, a fact you don't vocalize but begin to feel deeply on the drive home. Level 6. The owner. You're 39. You take the California qualifier exam, requiring 4 years of journey-level experience in the last 10. You have 16. You pass on the first attempt. You file the license. You print the truck door. You hire 2 crews. Your day no longer resembles carpentry. It looks like estimates, scopes, insurance certificates, permit packets, change orders, client emails, and a backlog spreadsheet you review every Sunday night. The median building and construction business in the country generates $1,509,665 in revenue. The median owner earnings figure, what the principal actually keeps, is $323,174 a year. You match it in year 3. Will, who runs a design-build firm called Turnkey Builders, tells you the buck starts and stops with you. You repeat this to yourself the morning you terminate your first lead. A guy who'd been with you 18 months who couldn't stop billing personal materials to job accounts. You write the check for his final week, and the truck looks emptier the next day. You discover the concealed expertise at this stage isn't carpentry. It's strategic workforce management, risk assessment, and client selection. In year 4, you decline a $400,000 kitchen renovation because the client demands undocumented change orders. 6 months later, you learn he pursued legal action against his subsequent contractor. You're 42. A broker contacts you about a potential sale. The national median sale price for building and construction businesses stands at $750,000, with an average earnings multiple of 2.60 times. Your metrics align perfectly. You execute the agreement, the funds transfer, you relinquish the keys, truck doors, Procore login, backlog spreadsheet, and punch list templates, all personally crafted. You exit and pause in the parking lot. The anticipated narrative concludes with __quote _0 the actual outcome. Risk manager with field authenticity. Your career's most compelling chapter was its core, the framing, fitting, repairing, and the pivotal morning you recalibrated steel, salvaging 11 critical days. The pinnacle of this profession offers superior compensation but feels detached from the craft. The licensing official who reviewed your application has never constructed a single wall. The broker who claimed 12% of your sale has never interpreted architectural prints. The incoming company leader has never hurled a dumpster bag of demolished garage debris at dawn. You return home. The garage brims with idle tools, a chalk line, 2 speed squares, a framing square worn thin at its edge. You preserve them. Selling is unthinkable. 24 years ago, you earned $20.80 per hour. Today's wire represents $750,000. The figure is tangible, the hands remain unchanged.